And now, your host with the most, the man with a plan, your 8th grade curator, Mr. Patrick Green.
Well, hello there, class of 2025. Welcome to your high school registration presentation. I'm Mr. Patrick Green. I will be giving you a presentation today along with Mrs. Frost, another counselor here at United Township. And hopefully by the time we're done with this video, you have a little idea how things run here, how your registration will work, and how you can ask questions if you have any and your teachers are unable to help you. So again, welcome, and let's get started. Okay, first and foremost, a lot of schools that lead into UT are of the smaller variety, 50 or 60, maybe 70 in the 8th grade class. We do have a couple schools that only have 20 or 25. So sometimes it takes a little while to get used to the sizes of the classes, the size of the hallways, the amount of people that are in the hallways, and the amount of time you have to get from one end of the building to the other. Now, our Glenview students, since Glenview is so much bigger, seem to adapt a little bit quicker. They're used to a little more chaos and a little bigger building and more students in the hallway at passing. But in general, everybody usually catches on in about a week. So one of the biggest things that you will have to do is get used to the size of the classes and the size of the building. You will find that first day that teachers will be in the hallways and they'll be doing everything they can to help out. We do have a 5-minute passing time, so most always you can make it from one end of the building to the other. And if you are a little late that first week, they're going to be very helpful. Please, please, please ask questions if you have any. It is very important to ask those questions if you're lost, or you're not sure where you're going, or if you just need some help. Our first day of the school year is our Link Day. It is the day that's just for freshmen. We will have that the day before all school starts. I want to say it's approximately August 3rd of next year. And on that day, you come in as an entire class. Mrs. Drish, one of the counselors here, and about 60 or 70 of our current students will be there to help out. You will start out with a get-together, and then you will do some games and some different things. You will ultimately end up in a classroom with 6 or 8 or 10 other freshmen to talk a little bit about what goes on here and what takes place. And then finally, we'll run you through your schedule and send you on your way with a sack lunch. The schedule will be 5 minutes in the class, 5 minutes worth of passing. It'll allow you to see just how close your classes are. And in some cases, you're going to find out that you just can't make it to your locker, so you may actually have to carry 2 periods worth of books. Most students catch on pretty quick on if they have time to use the restroom or if they have time to run to their locker in between periods. And there are some stragglers that don't ever catch on, but in general, you'll find out right away that if between second and third hour, you are able to go to your locker, but between third and fourth or between fourth and fifth, you're not, so you will have to carry those books with you. We do have a strict tardy policy. I'm sure the same is at all the feeder schools that come to UT. So you will be allowed a couple tardies, but eventually if you have too many, there will be consequences. But I've been told by many of your counselors and teachers that this class, we won't have to deal with that very often. It's a very good 8th grade class. So We look forward to having you. We look forward to helping you out. And we also look forward to you adding to the school environment and making us an even better school. Let's talk a little bit about security here at United Township. We take security very, very, very important. We think it is a priority of ours. We always make sure the kids feel safe. As you walk through the hallways, normally you'd have a tour that goes with this registration, but unfortunately with the COVID virus, we had to eliminate some things, and one of the things was the tour. But as you go through the hallways, you will see cameras on every corner. We do not have an area in the school that's not covered by cameras, other than the restrooms, of course, and the dressing areas. But there are cameras that show students that go in and out of those areas, so we can keep track of things real easy. We have teachers in the hallways. As I said earlier, they're going to be there to help you and do what they can to make sure that first week or two goes as smoothly as possible. We have a full-time policeman who is our liaison officer. I know Glenview has one also, and I'm pretty sure Silvis does. He is here every day other than training days, and you will see him quite a bit in the hallway. We have hall monitors who walk the hallways to make sure everyone is safe and that they can help out with questions and to make sure that everything moves along fluidly. And we have a truant officer who takes care of all of our attendance issues. If you think when you come to high school that maybe you will start not coming certain days or take a week off, she will come to the house and pick you up. If you continue to not come, she has the ability to write truancy tickets to you and your parents, which would mean that there would be a fine involved and you would have to go in front of a court official to explain why you're not coming to school. So again, we want you to feel safe. We want you to get involved here, and we want you to be a part of the school environment that first day you're here and for the next 4 years while you're at United Township. I can't emphasize this enough, but you need to ask for help. If you see someone in the hallways, feel free to ask them. If they don't know, they'll find the answer for you. If you have questions, you feel free to come see us. Email us. I get phone calls and emails throughout the day from parents and students, especially this year since we haven't had as much contact with the students. But feel free to come and see us if you have any questions, or ask the teachers in the hallway, the hall monitor, the liaison officer. The administration is in the hallways at all times. Please, please ask questions. This is a big one that's usually kind of funny. I always love this part of the presentation because I always get a chuckle out of the students. And I always ask the 8th graders when I'm giving this presentation, what is Freshman Friday? Well, Freshman Friday is an urban legend that's been passed down from year to year, usually by your siblings or cousins or even parents, where they talk about how freshmen get punched in the arm or stuffed into lockers or swirlies in the bathroom or stuffed into trash containers. I will tell you right now, that does not happen. I will tell you the people that give you the most grief with Freshman Friday will be brothers and sisters. They will want to see you a little worried about what goes on that day. But in my 20 years, and I have been here 20 years, I think I've had to deal with 2 Freshman Friday issues. And that's only because the student who did it called them Freshman Fridays. And both times, the student who did it received discipline from the school. So please let us know if anybody is bullying you or giving you a hard time. Usually they're just razzing. They're looking for a response out of you. They are looking for a response that makes you look scared. But please let us know if it continues to happen, because we take bullying very, very seriously here, and we will not put up with it. I know a lot of times freshmen are worried to come and say something because they think that they will be called a snitch or a narc. I will make sure if we call someone in who's giving you a hard time, we will not let them know you told us. We will say that we saw it on the cameras, or someone else told us, or a teacher came down and said, hey, I saw such and such giving this young man a hard time. Could you talk to them? You're not a snitch, and you won't get persecuted by your buddies. But on the other hand, we will not allow Freshman Friday to happen, and we definitely will not allow bullying to happen. But you need to let us know if it is happening, because we have 1,600 students in the building, and it's not always easy to keep track of everybody, every period, every minute. So please come talk to me or any of your other teachers, and we'll be glad to help you out. Right now, I want to spend a couple seconds with a little video of some pictures about past students and current students and about getting involved while you're here at United Township High School.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Morning comes and you know.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little activities/sports montage that we gave you to see what it's like here at United Township High School as far as participating and being involved in things. I would like to talk to you a little bit about getting involved and being a part of the school. That slideshow we just showed was just a few of the sports and activities we offer here. I think you probably noticed there wasn't baseball or softball, wrestling, bowling. There was no choir pictures or anime or chess club or gamers club. And I could go on and on about the number of different activities we have to offer here. Unfortunately, I didn't have all day, so I only put a few pictures on there. But I think the point here is to have you understand how important it is to get involved, how important it is for you to be a part of the school, a part of a group, for you to feel like you belong here, and for you to understand that the more you're involved, the more you'll feel like you are a part of the school. I know most of you get up in the morning and just can't wait to sit in English or math class, but for you that don't, it helps to know that at the end of the day, you've got basketball practice, or you've got choir practice, or band practice, or you have gamers club, or something that you have to look forward to where you get to sit down with your friends and do an activity you like and just enjoy being at school. If none of those things are something you're looking to do, and when you look at those activities, I think you would struggle to not find something you enjoy, you can always count on student council. Student council is done here like it is at most of the schools. There are elected positions, a president, a vice president, a secretary, and a treasurer. But we also have student council members who are just part of student council. And to do that, there's a form you have your teacher sign. You have to keep your grades up a little bit. But if you show up every Friday for the meeting, you're a part of student council. And usually we have about 100 to 125 kids that are in student council. And student council does about everything here. They put on the dances. They do the hunger drive. They do our blood drive. At homecoming, they put on all of the events and help supervise and put together everything that is done the whole week of homecoming. So if you are that person that are looking for some friends, but maybe there isn't a club, or you're not into sports, band, or choir, definitely think about giving student council a try when you come. Mrs. Demery, who is one of the counselors here, is in charge of student council. So if you have any questions, feel free to email her or ask me, and I'll get the answer for you if you're my part of the alphabet. But the most important thing to take from this slide is get involved. Don't be a fly on the wall. Be a part of school, and you will really find that the school spirit will grow more the more you're involved in an activity, sport, or student council. Let's talk a little bit about the counseling department. We divide everything up by alphabet. There are 5 of us here, and at the end of our video, we're going to run a little music portion where our names, address, or emails, and our phone numbers will come up, so you'll learn how to or can communicate with us now as 8th graders. Again, there's 5 of us. We do everything by alphabet, so whoever your counselor is now, that's who you'll stay with. Don't be afraid to ask for a female counselor if you want to talk about something that you only feel comfortable with a female, and vice versa if you feel more comfortable speaking with a male. But in general, we don't swap counselors, so whoever you have, according to alphabet, will be your counselor for the next 4 years. We do a variety of things in our department. One of the most important is academic counseling. We keep track of all your grades, your classes, everything that you need to graduate. I often have students come in and say, Mr. Green, am I on track to graduate? And my response to them is always, if I have not spoken to you about credits, if we've never talked about failing classes, you're on track. We will always make sure you're on track. I won't let you get to your senior year and say, hey, guess what? I forgot to put you in government, so it looks like you're coming back this summer or next year. So that is a big part of what we do. We keep track of all your grades and your transcripts so that when we get to that senior year, we make sure you're ready to go. We also do career counseling. And with career counseling, we often try to match up your interests to what may be available out there once you graduate from high school so that you can find a job or career that you're interested in. I often ask students if they'd rather peel potatoes for $100 an hour or find a job that they enjoy doing for $20. And I will say I usually get about a 50-50 hand raise from the freshmen when we do this in person. The $100 potato peeling getting about half, and then someone taking a $20 job they enjoy doing is about half. And what I always say to them is that $100 an hour job would be wonderful, especially on payday, but it would get very old and monotonous. If you ever have that feeling in the morning when mom and dad get you up and say it's time for school, you know, that feeling in the pit of your stomach that I just don't feel like going today. Well, that $100 an hour potato peeling job would be the feeling you'd have every morning you got up, except for maybe on the 15th and 30th when you get paid. What we try to do is find something out there that allows you to enjoy what you're doing and still make a good wage, something that you can have a family with and be productive citizens in society. I know everybody wants to be a professional athlete or gamer or maybe a professional shopper or something along that lines. And hopefully we have some professional athletes coming up through the 8th grade. But if not, we like to make a contingency plan so that we can find you something that you enjoy doing and try to lead you that way with the classes you take so that you're prepared for college or vocational school or the military or the workforce when you graduate from United Township. We also do quite a bit of personal counseling. We do not do the he said, she said stuff that I often found when I was a junior high counselor, and I'm sure your counselors deal with now. But we do listen to kids. We do often have closed door sessions. You know, kids' parents get divorced. Mom and dad got in a big argument with them that morning. Just something big, grandparent passed away, something big has happened and you just need someone to talk to. We also have 2 other agency counselors here that help us out with these type of situations. So if you feel the need that you would like to meet with someone once a week for an hour, which we can't do because we have 400 students apiece, we can find you that extra help you need to help you feel more socially comfortable while you're here at United Township. And if you want to see us, if it's an emergency, you can always feel free to stop in our office and come and see your counselor if it's an emergency. If not, we always suggest that you go to your class first, listen to your lesson, and then at the end of the period, maybe say to the teacher, may I go down and see my counselor? I really need to see my counselor. Can I have a pass to see my counselor? And you come down, you sign in, and the secretary will send you back to us as soon as we're available. Okay, I'm almost done here, and I'm going to let Mrs. Frost take over, but let's talk a little bit about the registration process. After your presentation today, in the past, we've given 1 week, but I think each school would do it differently, so it'll be up to the person who's collecting, your counselor, whoever is collecting these schedules, to decide when they want them back. We will give you probably at least a week to get them back, but they'll give you the dates on when the schedules are due back. We'll come out and pick up. We'll come out and help. Unfortunately, we can't do as much one-on-one as we've done in the past due to this crazy COVID stuff, like with my mask here hanging around my neck. But we will be out to help. Parents will receive a copy in April. So at the bottom of your registration form, you're going to see that we want a parent signature. And we think that's important because we want the parents involved. We want them to have a say in what goes on. And unfortunately, guys, I know you hate to hear it, but ultimately they decide what classes you take. And if you pick classes they don't want you to and they call me, I have to make any change they want. So why not sit down with mom and dad and try to discuss this with them? But if you don't, and you don't have a parent signature, which is fine, we'll still take the schedule. In April, they're going to get a copy of what you signed up for, and they have quite a bit of time there to make any change they want. And we will make those changes for them. Finally, changes can be made until we leave in May. I know you're struggling probably to see this in the bottom portion of this video, but we are here till late May, early June. Nothing is set in stone until we leave. If you wait too long, though, sometimes classes fill, sometimes they're just not available. Sometimes we can't fit them into your schedule. So I suggest making any changes you want as soon as possible, but we'll make those changes for you up until the time we leave in late May or early June. Feel free to communicate with us with phone call or email. If you do email, I will tell you that you'll get a reply quicker only because I check, and most everyone here checks their email in the evenings and on the weekends, and we usually always reply ASAP. Where phone calls we can only take while we're here in the office. Finally, let's talk a little bit about freshman year. You will have several classes that are required as freshmen. You will all get an English, math, and science. For you guys that don't like social studies, not required freshman year, but we do offer some social studies electives. So math, English, and science. And then you will have 3 electives. You can take about anything you want. I know foreign language is important to some, but I will tell you, please don't sign up for Spanish or French unless you are a very good language student. If you're not getting an A or B in language, you may want to wait till sophomore year to take that elective. Foreign language is not required to graduate, and there are some colleges that don't require it. One being Blackhawk, you may have to take it there, but foreign language is not required. So if language in 8th grade is not, or 7th grade was not your cup of tea, I would suggest that you wait on the foreign language until maybe sophomore year. But you will have 3 periods of electives. In the final period, there are 7 periods in a day. Actually, we have 8 in a normal day. 1 is lunch. But then there's driver's ed and health. Driver's ed is all done by birthday. So I can tell you if you turn 15 next year, no later than probably January, maybe February or March, but probably January or February, you will most likely have driver's ed. We do it all by numbers and birth dates, so no promises. But if your birthday falls February or earlier, you will most likely have driver's ed. If you don't have it, you will have health and PE next year, and you'll be one of the first ones to get driver's ed as a sophomore. You cannot take driver's ed until you're 15 because you cannot get your permit until you're 15. So that's why you have to be 15 when the class starts. So next year, again, English, math, and science, and we will put you in those classes. You don't pick those. We will put you in. Then electives, 3 of them. And then driver's ed and health will make out your schedule. Mrs. Frost, one of the other counselors here, is going to walk you through how to put the schedule together and how to put electives into your schedule. So I'll be back here at the end to say goodbye and to give you an idea of who your counselor may be and how to get in touch with them, either you or your parents, if you like.
Are you ready? Welcome, future Panthers. I'm Mrs. Frost. I'm one of the counselors here at UT. I'll be going over the course planning guide and registering for your freshman year classes. So first we'll go over the course planning guide. Teachers, if you want to go ahead and pause this video to hand out the course planning guide, please feel free. If you are a remote learner, this is available on the UT website, or you can contact your student's middle school to pick up your hard copy there. So what is a course planning guide? Where can I access it, and why do you even need it? So like I said before, it is available on the UT website. We do give an annual update on the UT website, but this 8th grade year will be the only time that you're going to be given a physical copy of the course planning guide. The course planning guide, so what it does, it really goes over what your graduation requirements are, both by the state and UT. So to graduate from UT, you do need to earn 23 credits. Out of those 23, there are some required classes you have to take to reach that. So you will have to take 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of a social studies, 2 years of science, PE every single year, a class called consumer ed, government, and then also health and the all-elusive driver's ed. Along that way, you will also get to take some really fun electives, which I'll explain in just a bit. The course planning guide does also have this really neat thing called the career pathways, which helps give you some suggested courses to take if you kind of have an idea of what you want to be when you grow up. So, for example, if you know that you want to be a teacher when you grow up, the course planning guide is going to have some classes that are already suggested for you to take every single year at UT. Same thing if you want to go into the health field or maybe a trade like auto body or welding. There are going to be courses that are going to be suggested for you to take every single year. The course planning guide is also going to have all of our departments and what classes they offer and the descriptions of those classes, so you really understand what you're going to be doing and learning in those classes. So just an example, this is what our art department looks like. It's going to give out the course number, the course name, the duration of that class, so whether you only take it for a semester or if you take it for the full year, and then what grade you have to be in high school to take that class. So as you can see, sophomores through seniors do get to take quite a few more classes, or at least eligible for quite a few more classes than freshmen are, but that's okay. I do also want to express that it is super important that you pass your required classes, because if, let's say, sophomore year, you're really excited about taking drawing, you're really into drawing. If you don't pass, let's say, a semester of an English class, you have to make up that English class, and that might take the spot of drawing. So make sure that you're passing your classes, not only because you should pass your classes, but also so that you're able to stay eligible to take all of those really fun classes that you're excited about. And like I kind of said earlier, it's going to give you some explanations about what those classes are and what you do in them. Some classes are going to be pretty self-explanatory, like World of Drumming. You're probably going to be drumming in that class, right? But a class like maybe Commercial Art isn't so forward about what you're going to be learning. So you're going to be able to go through this book and read a description by the teacher of what you're going to be learning and doing in that class. And that's just going to help you really understand whether or not a specific class is the right fit for you or not. All right, so now we're going to get into registering for your classes. If you're a remote learner, at the bottom of this video in the description, there is going to be a link to a Google form to select your elective classes. But please don't just close the video, keep watching, because I'm also going to explain what your required classes are and how those are selected for you. And then Mr. Green's going to close up with some other stuff as well. So teachers, if you want to pause this video, please feel free and hand out the registration form. So all 4 years, well, starting this year, you'll be given a version of this form. Please, please, please always fill this form out with a pencil. It is so much easier to erase something if you mess up than it is to try and write in between a bunch of scribbles. So when you start filling this out, you're going to want to write in your name. So last name, first name, and then your middle initial. It's really important that while you do this, that you write out your full legal name. So if you at school or at home, your friends call you Johnny, but your name is Jonathan, please write out Jonathan. That just helps us really know who you are. Then to the right of that, you're going to write down your date of birth. So what your birthday is, not today, not just like June 12th. Write down the month, day, and year. And this helps us know when to sign you up for driver's ed. You do have to be 15 to take driver's ed, but this helps us know what quarter and what year to register that for you. Then, moving on, you're going to write in your parents' name and your parents' phone number. This is going to be important for us because if we have any questions about your registration sheet, this is going to help us be able to contact them and get those questions answered so that we know that we are signing you up for the right class. Then you're going to write in your current school. So whatever school you are currently attending, your middle school, you write that in there. Then for language spoken at home, you're going to circle whatever language you speak at home. So when you're at home having dinner, what language are you guys having a conversation with across the dinner table? Is it English, Spanish, French, or is it something else? Go ahead and write that in, and that's just going to help us know what language to send forms home in and be able to best communicate with you so that we're able to communicate with you and your family in the best way possible. Then we're going to go down to this little box here that's on this form. Don't fill anything in there. That's going to be for us. We're going to write in what courses you should take for your core classes, what level to take, and when you take health or driver's ed freshman or sophomore year based on your age, and so on. So the way that we decide what level to place you in for your English, algebra, and science class, history you'll start sophomore year, is we're going to take some recommendations from your middle school teachers and then also some information from your math testing, and we're going to try to best place you in the appropriate level. So here at UT, we do have 3 levels of classes. We have general, CP or college prep, and accelerated. And so those are all going to be different levels of kind of how hard or how fast paced those classes go. And that's just going to help us decide what is best for you so that you are able to learn in your best environment. When you get this form at home with all of your course requests and what classes we're anticipating to put you in, parents, if you don't agree with the level your child is placed in, please contact us and let us know. We would love to talk with you about why you do or don't think that is an appropriate placement, and then we'll definitely move things as needed. So when we move down to the bottom part of this paper, we're going to have the part where you fill in all your electives. Again, if you're a remote learner, you'll use the Google form. So in this place, if you turn your sheet over, there's going to be every single class that you as a freshman are able to take at UT. And you're going to use that as a reference for what classes you're going to sign up for. So again, make sure you're using the pencil, and you're going to write in the course name and the course number in each box. So for example, if you are in band and you play an instrument and you plan to take concert band, you're going to write on line 1, concert band, and then the course number. I want to make this very clear that this is just some examples. This is not what you specifically are writing in. Maybe it is, but these are just examples for you to reference on when you're filling in your electives. So again, concert band, you're going to write in the name and then the course number. And so now concert band is a year-long class. So you're going to write that also in the second semester box. You're going to write in the course number again and then the course name. Okay? So then when we move to line 2, let's say you really want to take a second language. So maybe you want to take French or Spanish. Language classes are also year-long classes. So you're going to write in the name of the class and the course number. This is really important for classes like this because maybe you're really excited about taking French, but you accidentally write down the course number for Spanish 1. Those numbers can look pretty similar. So that's where it's going to be helpful for us to have both of those things written down. So then we can give you a call and say, hey, we noticed these things don't match up. Which one were you really wanting to take? And then we're able to place you in the right class so you're taking the classes that you're wanting. Then, as an example for some semester classes, maybe you want to take a study hall. And we do recommend that freshmen take study halls their freshman year. The amount of homework is different than middle school. Your time management isn't the same. Maybe you're in a sport. It just gives you extra time in your day to be able to do homework or maybe get support from teachers. So if you want to take a study hall, you'll circle study hall and then you'll write SH in the box next to it. Same thing if you want to do that second semester, you'll circle study hall, write SH, but make sure you're writing these elective courses for which semester you want those. So then let's say second semester, you want to take exploring foods, you're excited about learning how to cook, you're going to write exploring foods and then the course number for that class. Again, make sure that you're making these very clear, you're writing as neat as possible, and you're being super careful about writing down both the name and the course number. Oh, and I'll just go back for just a second. Teachers, if you want to pause this video so that students can go back and reference this while they're filling it out, please feel free. If you're a remote learner, again, you'll just be going through that Google form. All right, so at the bottom of this form, you are going to sign it and date it with today's date, the date that you're filling it out. And then you're going to want to take this form home and talk about it with your parents or guardians because we're going to send a copy of all of your course requests home in about April, and they're going to see what classes you signed up for. And if your parents or guardian don't agree with the class that you've signed up for, and they call us and say, you know what, I really want them to take a study hall, or I really want them to take Spanish instead of French, we're going to make that change because at the end of the day, mom and dad have the final say. So make sure you're going home and talking about these classes and why you want to take those classes with your parents, and then make sure that they're explaining to you too why it is or isn't a good idea for you to take each of those classes. All right, guys, and then just a couple quick reminders. When you're filling out your course request sheet, please remember to use a pencil. It's so much easier to erase things if you change your mind than it is to try to write in between scribbles. Please use a pencil. Like Mr. Green said earlier, get involved. Your time in high school will be so much more enjoyable if you play a sport or if you join a club. Find something that fits your interests. Enjoy high school. Have fun with your friends. Get involved. Remember to turn in your physical and dental forms. I believe your teacher should be handing those out to you as well. If you are a remote student, please contact your school and find out how those forms will be distributed to you, as you'll need them to start high school. When you're filling out the course registration form, please write out the name of the course and the course number. It is just going to be a lot easier if you're writing out really clearly what course you want to take and the course number so that we know exactly that those things match up and that's the class you truly want to take. Then also remember to get that parent signature. Take the form home, discuss with your parents what classes you want to take, why you're interested in them, and have a conversation about what is going to be best for you. And then most of all, reach out to us. We are here to help. We want to help you. If you have any questions, need clarification, or maybe just want a little extra assistance in filling out your course registration forms, Mr. Green is going to go over who your student's counselor will be, how we're split up by alphabet, our phone numbers, and our email so you can get in contact with us super easily. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. If I can make this, anyone can be successful at UT.
Okay, class of 2025, thank you for your attention, and I hope you learned something from this presentation. I'm sure you have lots of questions and are excited for next year, but if you do have those questions, feel free to ask your teachers. Otherwise, we're going to finish this presentation with a short slideshow of your counselor, which will have the alphabet along with their phone number and email listed. Please write those down. and give us a call, email if you have anything specific you want to ask, or if you just have a general question that you're not quite sure of. Look forward to seeing you guys in 6 months, and take care.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.